was because her immune system was overreacting, and the list of drugs that they've had her on this time, besides Motrin, Advil, and Tylenol, is Omnicord, Pulmicort, Zopinex, Prednisone, Prednisone, and Decadron.
And she's
okay.
Sick?
I'm gonna let Kyle start here because as a pharmaceutical rep, he probably sold 3% of that. So most of the things you hear today are Kyle's fault. So Kyle, rectify yourself and throw yourself on the pyre and help these folks. No, I'm kidding.
He saw the error of his ways.
Well, he did, but you were a pharmaceutical rep, and so you do know these drugs, Kyle, and I'm kidding you about the other because we so appreciate you helping. We're going to come right back here. This is one so common. A young child, 6-year-old, on multiple pharmaceuticals. She's having acute allergies, asthma, all the other things associated. We're going to talk about that. Platelet counts in Michigan. We're going to Bakersfield about depression, North Carolina about breast cancer, and wherever you are, we'll talk about that. You're listening to Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Live Health Talk. Be right back.
Allergies making you miserable? If you're sneezing, congested, itchy, have runny eyes and nose, stop patching symptoms with sprays and pills for brief relief. The cause of most allergies is your immune system making a mistake. Immunition beta-glucan nutritionally enables your immune cells to erase the mistakes to stop allergies at the cause. Don't patch your misery with brief relief. Resolve it with U.S. patented and medical school derived Immunition beta-glucan. Call 888-541-3997 now. NSC Immunition Milk Thistle Formula with MG Beta-Glucan is now 33% off. You save $20, only $39.95 for 900 milligrams of top-quality milk thistle combined with 6 milligrams of U.S. patented MG Beta-Glucan per serving. Nutritionally and naturally promote liver wellness and your body's fight against fungus. 180 capsules of nutritional power in NSC Immunition Milk Thistle with Glucan. Call 888-541-3997 or order at hwwshow.com.
It's still a terrifying memory. I was just a toddler. A bully held my head underwater. I didn't know much, but I knew I couldn't breathe. And I know my mom stepped in and took care of that situation. Flash forward 47 years. Mom has COPD, takes 4 breathing treatments a day with pills and puffers in between. I got her a Pioneer air treatment system. She liked how it smelled. Then about a week later, she told me she'd cut her breathing treatments in half. Mom doesn't know much about negative ions and hydroxyl radicals, but she knows she can breathe again. Someone in your family can't breathe. Your mom, your child. Why not see if you can take care of that situation? Call toll-free 866-PIONEER. That's Pionair. Or go to pioneer.net. I don't know what Mom and I got each other for the first 47 Christmases, but I'll never forget the year she got her first Pioneer. Call now. When you order, the good people at Pioneer will tuck a little something in there for your Christmas, too. 866-PIONEER or pioneer.net. Merry Christmas.
Has your get up and go got up and gone? Is fatigue a problem for you? Do you have no energy due to bad health, work, family, aging, commuting, or that long-haul driving? Are you taking prescription drugs or chemotherapy? Your blood and immune cells are almost certainly worn out. If so, you have a lack of or damaged red blood cells, so you don't have the oxygen needed in your system to provide energy to beat your fatigue. Eat right, stress less, and exercise moderately. To nutritionally amp up your body daily, take NSC 100 Immunition Glucan, Kona Gold with trace minerals, and homeopathic alertness. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, restore your energy nutritionally and conquer fatigue by taking NSC 100 Immunition Glucan, Kona Gold, and alertness. Stop moping around and energize to beat fatigue. Naturally and nutritionally restore your get up and go with this dynamic energy trio. Call 888-541-3997 today or order on the web at hwwshow.com.
Welcome back to Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, the health show that answers your questions on how to live a quality life in good health. And now, a wealth of health wisdom just for you on Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise.
Welcome back to Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. Goodness, I love this time of year. It's just wonderful, even though I do have a little shopping left to do. Just found an old Bible. People don't know Thomas Nast, who did Santa Claus. He came up with the North Pole, the sleigh and reindeer. He was the first, and so on and on and on. Well, there is one Bible, actually it's a biblical aid, that is out, illustrated by Thomas Nast and another gentleman. Fortunately, most people don't know about it, so it's still fairly reasonable priced. And I was looking through that today, and I'll tell you, you go into times like that in the artistry. I call it God's art. It's just absolutely beyond that, and the sunsets and the mountains. Of course, if you're in Denver, you can't see your hand, much less the mountains. But, well, let's go back to Sherry. Sherry has a true challenge with her 6-year-old daughter, asthma, poor immune system. I want to start off, Kyle, here. She almost should have a Pioneer unit sitting 6 inches from this child's face, because I have been there with the severe asthma, and as horrible as it sounds, back in the 40s, all you could do was get a vacuum cleaner, reverse the hose, and blow it in your face. Was probably putting soot. But my mother would clean this thing with rubbing alcohol and let it sit and dry to be sure it was clean. I'm sure it wasn't. But that's all we had other than the oxygen tent at the hospital. Pioneer is now there along with the MG glucan and respiratory formula, the CoQ10s. But tell us, what are your thoughts here as far as just the air around? Because this obviously is allergy related.
Two things, Sherry, that first come to mind with me. Number one is that I experienced asthma, bronchitis, upper respiratory infections my whole life. Usually when I get sick, it starts with that. And then another thing that I tend to deal with whenever I'm sick is depression. And that just seems to be what comes back over and over again. The second thing, just to preface what my comments are, is I don't know if you heard the advertisement for Pioneer just a couple of seconds ago during the break, but the man whose voice you heard is a man named Mickey O'Neill, and his mother that he talks about, who he talks about in that ad. I actually met this woman, and everything that he just said in that advertisement is exactly accurate. She had COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. She was on several different breathing medications, some certain things that they give for asthma, and was taking oxygen, and put the Pioneer in her home and dropped her oxygen in half and completely got off of her medication ultimately. And it was an incredible story. I do a radio show in Oklahoma City, and she joined us, and I was in tears the first time that she told us that story. It's amazing. I immediately think about the Pioneer when I think about the problems that she's experiencing. Putting a Pioneer in her room, having a Pioneer in the home, and eliminating those things. Now, there are things that are floating through the air in new homes that are sometimes different from old homes. Volatile organic chemicals, things that come up from carpet and drapes and so forth that you need to be aware of. But in addition to that, there are natural things that are floating around that it would be nice to eliminate or at least reduce. And the Pioneer air treatment system would be an incredible ally to you. Now, beyond that, I think that Frank, I'd like to get Frank's input, because he has two different formulas that I immediately thought of. One is allergy and one is respiratory. And I think that that would be an ideal combination. I'd be interested in Dr. John and Vicky's comments.
Well, the first one, you would use the respiratory in this case, because it is a little more acclimated, I think, to the combination of everything that this child has. So I'm going to send, along with that, when you're trying to calm, this is an important word, modulate. You don't ever hear me say the word stimulate. Sometimes in research they use the wrong word. But we potentiate and modulate. And if you think of your body sharing as with a thermostat, when you have allergies, when you have asthma, you have a hyper immune system that is making a mistake and attacking. It is releasing histamines from the mast cells. They cause the constriction that causes the cutting off of the airflow. You have to go back. All these things we spray, most of these things we take, address the symptoms. They don't go back and address the cause, and that is your immune system making a mistake. So we need to go back to square one, particularly with children. This goes back to your immune response. Think of it as putting glasses on it, but it calms it down. It modulates it and brings it back to attempt a proper response. You see, it thinks it's attacking something bad. And it's not. It's attacking whatever the allergen is causing the allergy, which is not really dangerous to the body. And so if you've got to redirect it, put glasses on your immune cells and have them make an appropriate response. But this child's body is internally out of control. It's like alarms going. If anybody's got an alarm system and they just start going off and you can't stop it, that's what's happening in her body. She has chaos. So we want to calm that down. I would do the NSC 160 count plus the respiratory. Now, we call that the Winter Wellness Formula. Right now, for everyone else, it's half price. For your daughter, it's $0. I want to send you that as a Christmas present, and that's from the Hope. That's from the Hope Inspiration Ministry. So if you will call us at 888-541-3997, that is the beginning, and I will get that on the way to you just today. Other things, vitamin A is very important for the mucous membranes. That will reduce that air pathway